Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Johnnie Mikel. He has just released a fantastic new track called I Hope It Hurts, and I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. Johnny, I want to sincerely thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Nice. What is new? What's happening?
Oh man, so much is going on. I just released a new single, the video. I have so much more stuff in the works for the end of this year and beginning of next. So it's been awesome to kind of get back into music a little bit. It's been a couple of years since I've released new material. So
Okay.
it's been exciting.
Oh, well, I'm excited to talk to you about it. You've got this new song out called "I Hope It Hurts," and like I said before we started recording, I've sincerely enjoyed it, listening to it so much. But as a listener, I can only do so much to actually interpret what it's about, can form my own opinions. But it's best to hear about it from you. So, like, what is this song? What inspired it?
Yeah, well, it's one that I actually wrote a while back. I was on a trip to New York at the time for music. And I just had this story that I had to get off my chest and this like emotion and this concept for this song. And it was pretty much just, I think, a feeling that a lot of people can relate to. It's about, following heartbreak, those feelings of internalizing that and wanting to project that and, just not wanting someone else to be able to move on.
Yeah.
And so I just had this concept brewing and I didn't know how to write it exactly. I kind of jotted down like a few lines, and then a few weeks later, when I was in LA, I was working with James Michael, the producer, and my friend Brandon Rogers, incredible songwriter as well. So we sat down and I told them this idea that I had, and it just came about so quickly. Like we wrote this song in probably like an hour, and
Oh, wow. I
it
mean,
was,
sometimes the best songs don't need months and months and months of tweaking. Sometimes
yeah,
it just comes to you quickly like that, and that's how it should be.
yeah, I feel like that's how pretty much all of my best songs have come about. Like there are things that I've wanted to write for so long and I've struggled with, and then eventually one day it just happens when it's supposed to happen,
Right.
and it's just very natural.
Amazing. So I wasn't aware that you had taken a minor break. What do you think was like the catalyst or the reason for coming back?
Yeah, I think. Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I was, in LA for a few years, living in Nashville as well. I was just bouncing back and forth doing music
Sure.
nonstop. And I kind of went through a season of just, music industry was really taking a toll on me, just a lot of not so great things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then I recorded this album that I was super proud of. And I was getting ready to release it at the start of 2020. And then we all know what happened,
Ah,
global pandemic
yes.
everything. And so it was really devastating for me. I decided I need to take a step back,
Sure.
go back home for a while. I started going to school. So I'm in college right now.
Nice.
And what brought me back is really just like the love of the music. There's so many songs that I've written in the past and that I'm still writing that I'm passionate about. And I think that all of these songs that I'm putting out moving forward, they're very purposeful. They really have a message behind them that I think is important to share. So it's really just the love of the craft that brought me back.
That's amazing. No, that's how it should be. You shouldn't have to force it, and obviously things have been different for everyone. It's like
Yeah.
we've seen it on both ends. We've seen people starting their music career for the first time throughout
Mhm.
this time because they had so much time, and then other people fall off for whatever reason. But as long as it brings you back and you're feeling inspired to continue on, truly that's all that matters at the end.
Yeah. I think it's been like an interesting time for artists. Like you said, like people are starting, some people are taking breaks, but like
Yeah,
I think it's made everyone really just prioritize what's important and kind of
absolutely.
write and create like some of the most genuine stuff. I feel like
Yes.
has been released in the past couple of years, and I love that. I think music's coming back to a place of like being very, message driven and intentional, and like I just love seeing what other artists are doing right now with that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as we all live through weird, crazy, turmoil filled times,
Mhm.
you get more stories from whatever happens to your life. And instead of manufacturing songs to like,
Exactly.
be relatable, everyone's kind of relatable right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it works out for everyone, I suppose.
Like,
Now, another question I had for you is so this song is obviously rooted in rock, but it also holds so many different like genres and styles. If you sort of had to give the elevator pitch of what this is to someone who hadn't listened to it before, what would you call it?
yeah. I think the best way genre-wise to describe I Hope It Hurts would be alternative pop. It's
Okay,
kind of
okay,
like the label that I've been putting on everything that I'm doing right
yeah,
now because I'm one of those artists that like I don't really like to stay in a certain box. I
yeah,
grew up listening to everything. When I was younger, I was, writing and recording in Nashville, like when I was basically a kid, and I was doing everything.
yeah,
And so, like, I just have so many different inspirations, so many different interests that when I record, it's just kind of natural for me to pull from all of that. Like, I
yeah.
don't want to go in and feel like, oh, I have to write a pop song or I have to write something that's like in this rock genre when in reality, that feels like I'm kind of constricting who I am like as an
I
artist. So
fully agree. I also feel like that's where the music industry is headed as a whole.
I
Just
love that.
in the no, me too, but also just the future of production. Like
Yeah,
it's, obviously you enjoy what you enjoy listening to on a daily basis. But at the same time, like when you have outside help and a team behind you who can, like it's like you're almost capturing a larger audience, but you're making what you want. There's so much freedom in it. So
exactly.
I
Yeah.
prefer it that way because you shouldn't be nailed down. You should, it's your form of expression. Like it's your thing.
Yeah.
So I love
Pretty
that.
easy.
And it kind of sounds like you're most likely going to experiment with whatever you put out in the future, I would assume.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a few more releases lined up. They kind of fall under that same umbrella of like, I don't really want to be pigeonholed into one genre. So I've kind of
Definitely that.
experimented with different sounds and instruments and everything. And I'm really excited for people to hear what's coming moving forward because it's so different from anything I've done in the past. It's very
Totally.
lyrical. It's very there's a different edge to it. I think it's very mature. I'm really excited
I
for when you.
understand. Yeah, I don't want to push you too much in the direction to unveil what you're working on. But I will say that it sounds like there's more in the works. So, pay
Oh,
attention
absolutely.
and definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you found that your process of actually making music has changed over the years? Potentially as you've learned more like tricks of the trade or just become more comfortable in songwriting?
That's a good question. I definitely think so. When I was younger and I was like a teenager in Nashville writing songs,
Yeah.
I was one of those people who believed that you had to write every single day and you had to co-write with as many people as possible. And there's
Daunting.
so there's so many benefits to that, honestly, like especially when you're starting out. Like I got
Yeah.
to meet so many cool people and, write in genres and in spaces that I never would have imagined. But at the same time, now I focus on, what's going on in my life a little bit more. I write when I get inspiration.
Yeah.
And, especially through the pandemic, I feel like I've become so much more comfortable writing on my own as well, which is
Yeah.
a skill that I think a lot of songwriters need to kind of focus on and get back to. Because
I mean, it
when you're,
may have forced you to.
yeah,
Obviously,
like,
we've had Zoom and texting and calls and all that stuff, but at the same time, you know, you were. I mean, all of us were just in our rooms for a while with a lot of dead air around. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. And when you're constantly like co-writing, you start to kind of second guess yourself. You're like, oh, is this really good? Like, is the song like
it's
turning out
true.
cool? And so it's like, I feel like when you just turn off that like internal editor and you just get to write what feels real,
Yeah.
that's when like the best stuff comes about. And that's another thing about a lot of the music moving forward. Like for the first time, I'm releasing stuff that I've written and completed like just completely on my own. So I'm
Yeah.
really proud of it.
Amazing, man. Is there something that you look forward to the most when like embarking on a new song?
Something I look forward to the most. Um, my favorite part of the process has always been live shows.
Mm,
So I love the songwriting aspect, obviously super important to me, but then my
sure.
other favorite part is doing shows
Yeah.
and seeing how that can kind of translate on the stage and like what songs are your favorite to perform and all of that. So that's always been my favorite part.
Nice. Well, I'm thrilled that you brought that up because that was my next talking point.
Oh, nice.
In
Okay.
terms of shows, I don't know what you've been up to, but have you been playing shows as of recent? And if not, do you have anything planned in the near future?
Yeah, I haven't done anything in a minute just because I've been so focused on,
Yeah,
school and then also writing and recording.
of
But
course.
I do have some plans after the beginning of the year. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's been a minute since I've done anything live, and I'm just so excited to get to share all this new material because it's, like I said, it's so different from anything that I've done before. So it's going to be
Nice.
interesting to see how that translates and how that, kind of connects with people.
Okay, well, so hypothetically speaking, do you have an idea for a set list? Like, what have past shows look like? Is it all originals? Do you incorporate covers or any, crowd pleasers?
In the past, I've done kind of a combination of both. So like I'll
Okay,
do, original stuff and then I'll also do covers and everything, but it's just been so long since I've done anything. Like a lot of what I've released in the past has been more strictly in the pop genre.
okay,
So, even though I had a live band with me on stage, it was more in that world. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how these songs look and feel on stage because I think it's just going to be a little bit
nice.
more mature and it's going to be cool to see.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. If you ever are out west, say
Absolutely.
something.
I've got to get back to the West
Make
Coast.
it
It's my favorite.
make it happen, man. Um, Now, okay, so we're basically at the end of September, which feels like the end of the year. I don't want to like rush life or anything, but it does feel like we're closing out. Do you have any lofty goals or things that you're looking forward to hopefully accomplishing in the next year?
Ooh, good question. Um,
And nothing is off limits. Could be the
yeah,
craziest thing.
yeah. I think I'm looking forward to putting out this new project and I'm excited to kind of do it on my own terms. Like I'm completely independent artist right now, so it's like I
Sure.
feel like I have so much creative freedom. I'm able to do kind of whatever I want with it and kind of take every day by day and just, make sure that I'm running at top speed, like behind the scenes too. Like I
Yeah,
really am passionate about just like mental health and making sure that I'm happy with everything that I'm doing. So I think throughout this process, that's my main goal. Like I just want to get back into music because it's what I love to do. I'm
of
not doing it
course.
for, like the fame or the fortune or anything like that. Like I just do it because I love it. And
Absolutely.
that's really what I want to focus on moving forward.
Listen, I mean, I've only known you for the past 15 minutes or so, but it feels like you are doing this out of the love and the passion for it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's always great things that happen when mass amount of
Yeah,
people listen to your music, but
of course.
everyone needs a creative outlet of some sort, whether it's painting or writing in a journal or whatever it is. Why not take your problems and your situations and life experiences and put them into amazing music for everyone to possibly relate with? I love that. Um, Now, on the flip side, we were talking about professional goals. Anything personally that you would like to achieve in the next year? Sounds like
Ooh.
you're in school, so that's got to be at least one of them.
No, that's actually true. I'm set to graduate next year. So
Congrats!
basically, I
Amazing.
got my whole bachelor's degree in like 2 years. So I've been working really
Nice.
hard.
Yeah,
I've been working
clearly.
really, really hard on that.
Yeah,
So I'm excited about that. And just getting back on the road, I
yeah.
mean, I guess that's kind of a music related goal. So
That's okay. All of our lives bleed into our professional lives, so I
exactly.
completely understand. Um, Another one is, what are you listening to? Like, what has been at the top of your playlist, or an artist, even a local artist that you're like, hey, they're doing big things as well.
What have I been listening to? I'm like always all over the place a little bit.
Good,
Um,
as you should be. If you listen to the same music, you're gonna make the same kind of music. You gotta expand.
yeah, for real. So I've been, oh gosh, what have I been listening to? I mean, I love every genre. So like I'm constantly listening to like alternative. I love pop. I love pop, honestly.
Sure.
Like old country. Like I really don't like to just stick to one thing. So I'm
Ah,
a little bit all over the place right now.
cool. All right. Well, Johnny, I've got one more question for you. It's how I like to wrap these up. Basically, the question is for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Good question. I think the thing that's really interesting about this project and everything that I'm doing from this point on, it really it's because I love it. It's authentic. It's all about the message behind it all. This project and collection of songs that I'm putting out moving forward, it talks about so many important topics that I'm excited to address. So it's kind of like the intersection of like art and activism and like all of the issues that I care about. So it's gonna be interesting to get to share that message and put out these songs because they're very, like I said, they're very lyrical, they're very message driven, and
Totally.
as a songwriter, like not even as an artist, I'm just really proud of this work.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing whatever comes. Sounds like there's a lot on its way.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
please let me plug your music for you one more time. Guys, the
Yeah.
song is called I Hope It Hurts. And we're going to have links so that everyone can listen and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But Johnny, I really want to thank you so much again for taking the time. It's been great to learn about you. And I hope that we can do this again someday.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Take care and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Cool. Bye bye.
Bye.